Hi, my name is Will Hesketh and this is Functional Yoga. As always, make some space around you to practice, make time to practice, which means removing distractions so that you can be present with your practice, so you can really notice what's going on for you without being distracted by other things. Be as playful as you can, so try not to take it seriously, try not to take yourself seriously if you can, just enjoy it, enjoy yourself, enjoy whatever happens. Don't feel like you need a certain thing to happen. Be as grateful as you possibly can for yourself, for anything that you can think of to be grateful for. Just the act of trying to think of things to be grateful for is really helpful to sort of boost your mood as well. And be as compassionate as you can towards yourself and towards anything else you can be compassionate towards. And just remember, you're alive, you're breathing, and that's amazing. You're amazing before you've done anything. You don't have to do anything. You're alive, you're breathing, you're amazing. This week's going to be a little bit different. Our focus is going to be meditation. So we're going to do some movement. It's not just going to be a solid seated meditation, but we're going to be doing minimal movement and really paying attention in this session to the breath. So we're going to get started on our backs. Bring yourself down whenever you're ready. Just rest flat on your back, feet hip width apart, knees hip width apart. Get nice and comfortable. Have a little shuffle around. And once you've found a nice comfortable position, ideally as symmetrical as you can be with the arms and the legs, just gently inhale to arch the lower back and exhale to allow the lower back to come towards the floor. So all you're doing is just tilting the pelvis forwards as you inhale, arching the lower back, exhaling, tucking the pelvis backwards with the exhale, letting the lower back flatten onto the floor. So just feel your way through, take your time, go at your own pace. As you inhale, diaphragm moves down into the belly area. And that's why we arch on that one. And as you exhale, diaphragm moves up. So you've got that space to tuck the belly in a little bit, push the lower back towards the floor subtly. Really gently, make sure there's zero pain. If there is, just really back it off. Or just don't do it if it doesn't feel comfortable. Whenever you're ready, just gradually walking the feet to the width of the mat and just starting to let the knees go a little bit side to side. So start really small with this one, just subtle, gentle movement. Maybe letting the head flow with it as well. So as your legs go over, the head gently goes with. Really don't think about taking it a certain distance. Just see if you could feel your way through it and notice it. Notice how it feels as you move. Notice whether the head's coming with the legs or maybe it's just tagging along just slightly afterwards. So it's almost like it gets slow motion catapulted to the other side. But really, in terms of catapulting, think of it as a very, very, very slow motion thing. So it's mellow, it's calm. You might start to take the knees further if you want to. You might not, don't worry. Whatever you're doing, as long as there's no pain, whatever you're doing is fine. So if you want to avoid pain by not doing something, just don't do it. And if you want to, you could start to bring the knees into the chest for a moment, maybe just hugging the knees in towards the chest, see how that feels. If it's not feeling like an option to do that, you could always rest your feet on a sofa or a bed or something like that. And that's a bit far away from me there, but you would want the knees bent and the legs really relaxed on there. And then just start to shuffle and get into a nice comfortable position. And all I want you to do is just be. Just try and allow yourself to be. So try is a terrible word really to use. We're not really trying to do anything. We're letting go of trying, if anything. And we're just observing, almost like you've just been in a busy market all your thoughts going on and you're kind of caught up in this busy market. And then you've come out the other side and you've gone, actually, I'm just going to go and sit up on a viewing post and just watch the market. Watch everything happening. All those thoughts, all that busyness. Just observing it impartially. Maybe just give your toes a little bit of a wiggle, notice how they're feeling. If you want to straighten the legs out, you could always straighten your legs out. So it's all about getting yourself into a really nice, comfortable position. But ideally, flat on your back is good because it's just going to allow everything to flatten out and reset. Just noticing your breath. Again, almost like you've got a vantage point and you're just sat looking back on yourself, just observing impartially, playfully, in a relaxed way, without judgment. How is the breath? Is it deep? Is it smooth? Is it calm? Is it short? Is it jerky? Whatever is going on is fine. We're not trying to breathe in a specific way. We're just allowing the breath to happen. If you want to, you could start to track the breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Or in through the nose and out through the nose. And if neither of those feel comfortable, then just breathing through the mouth is fine. Just trying to notice everything you can about the breath. So we've got movement of the diaphragm that draws the air down in towards the belly space. You may or may not be able to notice that. Same around the ribs. They expand, you get that natural expansion of the ribs. And they'll relax back down as you exhale. Possibly even feeling some movement up into the neck and the shoulders. But it's very subtle. If you feel like you're struggling to keep focused, that's completely normal, natural. We've got a million things happening every day, pulling at our attention, especially with phones and devices, computers. Just accepting that's modern life now. It's highly likely that your mind will be darting all over the place as you're doing this. We're not trying to stop it, we're not trying to force it to do anything, we're just seeing if each time we have a breath, we could pay attention to a bit of that breath. It might not be every breath and it might not be whole breaths, but just some kind of awareness as you breathe. Just allowing that breath to happen. As you're breathing, maybe you start to bring a little bit of resistance at your throat. So you get a little bit of noise to concentrate on. I'm going to exaggerate it so you can hear it. But really try and be as delicate as you can. So it's as though you're going to steam up a window, just that sort of sound. But you can do it on the inhale as well. And you can also do it through the nose. So it doesn't have to happen through the mouth. The mouth doesn't have to be open. And just bringing that down as subtle as you can. So if you've got quite a loud noise, see if you can make it a really, really quiet noise. And if you've got a quiet noise, see if you can make it even quieter, but still have that little sensation that the breath is restricted. Being in this position, lay flat on your back, it can sometimes lead to feeling a bit sleepy. And you might start to notice yourself nodding off, and that's fine. And if you need to sleep, you might just have a little power nap, a little snooze. But if you are feeling like you don't want to sleep and you want to stay with it, and just see if each time you start to notice the sensation that sleep is creeping up on you, maybe just take a few slightly bigger breaths. Maybe give the face a little bit of a move around, have a yawn. The yawn's just started happening. Maybe even have a little stretch and a little move about. So it doesn't need to be static, remember. If you feel uncomfortable, there's always the option to have a little move around. What we're seeing if we can do is avoid just moving for the sake of moving. So if you just feel like, oh, I want to move, and then you move straight away, and maybe you could feel, oh, I want to move, and then, do I need to move? Just observing for a moment. And then if you still feel like you need to move, then move, great. But just doing it a bit more purposefully and a bit less habitually. Tracking that breath. Observing those thoughts. Energizing yourself with the inhale. Letting go with the exhale. Maybe just give the fingers and toes a little bit of movement. And then see if you could just allow them to rest again. Maybe just turn the head gently towards one side and then gently towards the other side. Feeling your way through subtle movements, subtle breaths, noticing and observing without judgment the thoughts as they come and go. You might gradually just walk the feet up and just have the feet flat on the floor. You might very gently just let the knees go over to one side a little way. So you might take them just a small amount, you might take them all the way over, you might even allow your whole body to roll onto your side if you want to. Just take your time. Maybe just pause, take a few breaths. And then eventually, gradually, slowly, just starting to work your way around to all fours. From your all fours position, just gently sitting back towards the heels, tucking the toes a little. Putting the top of the foot down, gently sitting back towards the heels, tucking the opposite of tucking the toes, top of the foot on the floor. Just feeling your way through. You can keep the eyes closed as you do these things if you want to. See how it feels if you maybe put the elbows down on the floor and do a bit of the same, just gliding backwards and forwards. Maybe just seeing if you keep those elbows shoulder width, those wrists shoulder width. Don't worry if it doesn't happen, it's no worries at all. Bringing yourself back to an all fours position, and from your all fours position, just having a little move of the pelvis. So just imagine you're trying to shift the middle of your spine or the bottom of your rib cage around in a circular action. So kind of like you've got an imaginary spine that's going to stay there, and then you're going to shift your real spine and rib cage around it in a circular action. Almost like you're drawing a barrel shape with your rib cage. And try the same thing in the opposite direction, just nice and steady, slow, controlled. Listen to your body. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Steady, gentle movement. And then just in the general, if you want to move around, stretch out. Maybe bring it down to child's pose, sit the heels down, sit the bum down towards the heels, I should say. Creep the hands over to one side, just have a little curve through the spine and just breathe. Just noticing your body move as you breathe. Gradually and slowly working your way around to the other side. And again, just breathe. Gradually working your way back to the center. If you want to do a little bit of down dog, you could do that. Chuck the toes behind you, shift the bum up and back, gently pedal through the legs. Just let the head hang down, let the back of the neck relax. Again, just breathe. If you don't fancy down dog, you could just have the knees down. And then however you want to, just gradually bring your way back to a seated position. No need to sit on the floor, no need to sit cross-legged. I always like to sit on a bolster in a kneeling position, but just see whatever works for you. You can sit on a chair, sitting upright. Ideally, no backrest. You don't need to not have a backrest if you don't want to. But if you can, see if you could just support your own weight. Nice, upright, dignified position. Tracking a few breaths. Noticing the air as it comes in. Noticing the body as it expands. And as you exhale, noticing the air as it comes out, noticing the body as it contracts. Just being with each breath as it happens. Noticing anything you can hear, nearby, far away. Notice any sensations in your body. All without judgment if possible, or just letting go of judgment as it comes. Letting it all happen, moment by moment. If you want to, gradually just letting the arms come down by the sides. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, bring them down. And just try and do that in the most natural feeling way. It could be straight up the front, it could be out to the side. Inhaling as the arms come up, exhaling as they come down. Again, no need to open the eyes unless you want to. Or if you didn't close them, then fine, whatever works for you. Just feeling your way through that subtle movement of the arms. Feeling the energy of the breath as you breathe in and breathe out. Let's try something a bit different with the arms. Scoop them under, so almost like you're grabbing hold of something and then just lift up and then push up. Bringing them slowly down and again scooping under. Inhale, push up. Exhale, bringing the arms all the way around and down. Just noticing the movement, noticing the breath. Not worrying about whether it's an inhale or an exhale, or if you're doing exactly what I'm doing. It's just feeling your way through some movements that feel nice for you, some breathing that feels nice for you. You might push the arms out in front now and bring them around the sides. Again, just do the breathing that works for you. I'm inhaling as I'm bringing those arms round and under, and I'm exhaling as I'm pushing those arms away, and that feels natural to me, but do what feels natural to you. And again, if you want to close the eyes again, or even if you've still got them closed, just feeling your way through. So there is no right or wrong. We're moving for the sake of moving and for the sake of noticing the movement. I'd say the only wrong is if you've got pain in your joints, or if you are talking bad to yourself. Both of those things can be addressed. You move smaller if you've got pains in the joints and just keep it under the radar of the pain in the joint. And if you're thinking bad about yourself, you just concentrate on letting go with your exhale. Let go of each thought. Start again. And it might not be every time that you manage to let go, but it's just practicing that action of letting go. And then any movements you want to with these last 4 breaths, it's up to you. Take a big deep inhale, big as you can. No need to move at all apart from breathing if you don't want to. And then exhale, just let go slowly. Inhale, start again. And exhale, let go slowly. Two more big breaths. Inhale, taking in what you need. Exhale, letting go of what you don't need. One more big inhale. And exhale, let go. Letting the chin come down to the chest if you want to. Gradually and slowly starting to let the eyes open if you want to. Gradually and slowly starting to stack each vertebra of the neck back on top of each other as you slowly start to lift the head back up, one segment at a time. Gradually opening the eyes if you've not done already and you want to. And we'll finish there. Thanks very much for joining in. I hope you feel good for it. Take care.